Got you some.
Please stand. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thanks everyone for coming tonight. We're going to start off with a public hearing. Mr. Khalid and Mr. Mark Wallace will be handling it.
Okay, we'll go on the record at 7:02 p.m. The first item on the agenda is a public hearing for the owner to show cause why the structure at 210 East 4th Street in Herman should not be demolished. Is Mr. Schmelz here by chance?
Yes.
Yeah, yes. It appears that he isn't. Is there anybody here who has an interest in the property at 210 East 4th Street? All right, it appears that there is not. It's my understanding, Commissioner Wallace, that this building at this property has already been demolished, is that right?
That is correct.
And has the debris been smoothed out and cleaned up in a satisfactory fashion?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Alderman, do you have any questions? Mayor, do you have any questions about this property?
No, I think he did that in the last couple of weeks. So we had this scheduled and we went ahead with it.
Okay.
Haven't had anything else.
There appears to be nothing else to do with respect to the 210 East 4th Street property, so we'll go ahead and adjourn this hearing and we can go off the record.
Okay.
All right, the next hearing is for 139 West 5th Street. Is it Bake Brady?
Yes.
Is that how you pronounce it?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have anything you'd like to say before we go on the record or get started, or any?
No, you folks requested me being here. I guess I'm a little remiss, and I tried very hard not to spend any time in Herman. I've been working on this thing for 5 years. Had it gone through how when we originally bought this and was gonna make that and the house next to it the bed and breakfast, and spent the money and did my plans to have the rug pulled out from under me. So I'm here because you've requested me to be here.
Okay. Let's go ahead and go on the record. This hearing called at 7:05 p.m. on October 14th in the Board of Alderman chambers at Herman City Hall. This is a show cause hearing to be conducted by Mark Wallace, the city administrator, and building commissioner for the city of Herman. Mr. Wallace, are you ready to proceed?
Yes.
And this hearing is being held to determine whether the building at 139 West 5th Street, Herman, Missouri, is a dangerous building per the terms of Herman Municipal Code, section 525.020. This hearing is on the record and a transcript is being prepared. I would ask Commissioner Wallace to accept the following exhibits for the record. Exhibit 1 is the entire municipal code of the city of Herman, Missouri. Exhibit 2 is a title report from Michael Mundwiller's office here in Herman that shows that the owners of record of this property are Timothy Bake Brady and Terry Bake Brady, husband and wife. Exhibit 3 is a letter dated January 31st, 2017 to Mr. Bake Brady from Lee Regal. Exhibit 4 is a letter dated September 29th, 2016 to Mr. Bake Brady from Ms. Marcia Bucher. And Exhibit 5 is a notice of hearing in order to show cause dated September 25th, 2019, addressed to Mr. Bake Brady It was sent return receipt requested, and we have the return receipt as part of Exhibit 5. Exhibit 6 is the notice of hearing in order to show cause that was printed in the paper. Exhibit 7 is the affidavit of publication from the Herman Advertiser Courier. And Exhibit 8 is a City of Herman inspector's report regarding the property. Mr. Wallace, do you agree to accept all of these exhibits into the record?
Yes, I do.
And I would ask Lee Regal, City Building Inspector, to come to the podium, please. Would you state your name for the record?
Lee Regal.
And what is your position with the City of Herman?
I'm the building inspector for City of Herman.
And how long have you been in that position?
Been 11 years.
And in your position as building inspector, have you become familiar with the property and the building at 139 West 5th Street in Herman?
I am familiar, yes.
And how did you become familiar with it?
I've been called upon a number of times over the years to make an inspection of that structure. And it's been a dangerous building since day one. The north wall of that building is completely gone. The first floor is in the basement. The second floor is about at that point. It's obvious now from the roof line that it's about to fall in, and I think it's causing that south brick wall to be pushed out a little bit. I believe it's ready to fall on the street. I think that building needs to be pushed in on itself now.
Okay. Did you prepare an inspector's report with respect to this property?
I'm sorry, no, sorry. I didn't, for this evening?
Pardon?
For this evening?
No, not for this evening. This is
I had, yes.
9/21/16, prepared an inspection.
Yeah, right. Mhm.
I'll show you what's been marked Exhibit 8. Is this the inspector's report that you prepared?
Yes, correct. Mhm.
And did you, there's pictures attached to that, is that right?
Correct, yes, that's, mhm.
And did you present that to Mr. Wallace?
I did. Mhm.
Okay.
That was at such time the brush was cut down enough I could get around there and see what's going on, yeah.
Would you say that the building is in better shape or worse shape now than it was when you prepared this report, or about the same?
Worse.
If somebody were to attempt to repair the building, do you believe that the cost to do that would exceed 50% of the value of the building?
I do.
Do you believe it is possible to repair the building so it will no longer be in violation of the code?
No.
Do you believe the building should be demolished?
Yes.
And did you send a letter on January 31st, 2017 to Mr. Bake Brady's telling him that if after 30 days after that letter, nothing had been done, then the building commissioner would be notified and we could proceed with a hearing like this one?
I did, yes.
Do you believe the building is dangerous to the public health, safety, and welfare of the city?
Yes, I do.
Is it your opinion the building is a nuisance?
Yes.
Is it unsightly?
Yes.
Are you asking Commissioner Wallace to find that the building is dangerous and order that the building be destroyed within 30 days? And if not, then for the city to proceed to demolish the building?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Bake Brady, do you have any questions for Mr. Regal or?
No, sir.
I don't have any further questions.
Thank you.
Mr. Wallace, have you seen the building?
Yes, I have.
And you've been present here in the council chambers while Mr. Regal was testifying, is that right?
Correct.
And do you agree with his testimony?
I do?
Is there anything about his testimony that you believe is wrong or inaccurate?
No.
Mr. Big Brady, do you have any questions for Mr. Wallace?
No, sir.
Do you have, now that we're on the record, do you have any testimony or evidence or pictures or anything you'd like to submit or anything you'd like to say regarding this matter?
No, sir. I bought that building, it was in the same shape that it is now, it needed to come down. I've worked with the city, I've been promised 3 times that the city was gonna take care of that, and there were funds available to do that. All of which have succumbed to, nope, nothing's come to pass on that. Each time I got those letters, I've called Mark and explained and asked him questions, and he said, I'm talking to the mayor, I'm talking to the councilman. So I did not ignore, nor do I ignore any of the letters, I'm here tonight. But that building should have come down the day I got it. But the day I bought it from your ex-city administrator, I was told you can't touch it because it's on our historical docket. So that took me some time to get it off of your historical docket. And then I get a letter said, go ahead, tear it down if you want. I had plans made for that in the house next to it that I own for the last, I don't even know how long it's been now, Mark. We've been messing with this for some time. I started with the prior mayor and thought we had everything. I spent money to have an architect draw it. It would have all been down and gone. It would have been 2 guest houses in there that would have, I was gonna save a lot of the brick and a lot of the timbers to keep it and maintain some of the historical value to the city of Herman. But no guest house west of Market Street. Quickly pulled that away, and any thoughts and ideas that I had, my wife and I decided we're done. I have since been trying to sell that, give it away. I've offered it back to the city to give it to them if it's their historical building. No. I have a verbal from Mr. Kevin, the trolley man, that I'm selling. I paid $7,500 for it. I'd give it to him for $500, I told him. He says he's been working with somebody on council, but, so I'm trying. Like I stated earlier, I'm done. I give. So I'm gonna do what you tell me to do. I'm going to try and shed this thing, and I try desperately not to come into Herman anymore. I'm from a historical town where it has a lot of the tourists come in and spend time and spend money, but Herman's not one of mine now, and I tell my story to anybody that I can from my town, so we don't no longer bring to your Oktoberfest the 20, 30, 40 people that we had come to the farm. So I'm at your mercy. I know I'm at your mercy, so there's always 2 sides to the story. It's not like I've ignored stuff. We've been working on it, but
Okay.
and if somebody has the name of a demo guy in 30 days, I'd love to have it. I've been trying to get numbers from Mark for 2-3 years on it.
Mr. Wallace, do you find that this building is a dangerous building?
Yes?
And do you find that it would be in the best interest of the citizens of Herman for the building to be demolished?
Yes?
And do you hereby order the building to be demolished?
Yes?
Okay, so the next step is the transcript will be prepared, and we need to prepare written findings, a document that sort of echoes what's been said here tonight, and get that to you, and the order will say that you have 30 days from the date of those findings in written order to demolish the building. So that's where things stand as of right now.
Only thing that I am leaving town for a couple of hunting trips, so if that's gotta be a certified letter, I'll need to get that before Thursday. Or is it just from today, or?
No, it'll take a few days for us to get the transcript. It'll take a few days then for me to prepare the order, and then we'll have to get Mark to sign it. Probably, it'll go out by the end of the month. I'm thinking a deadline will probably be about November 30th.
I'll be back in town.
And we won't send it certified, we'll just send it regular mail, most likely. So, okay, that'll conclude the hearing in the record.
Spell his name.
Bekevrede.
Thank you.
Deletes this a public.
Can I ask a question?
Are we off the record?
Yes.
Okay.
Are you still on record?
No? You can ask a question though.
Come on up.
Yes.
I don't know, Tim. I want him to bring his people and his friends back into Herman. I want the piece of property. My problem is the demolishing of it. It's gonna be, I've got one price of 20,000. Vance has not gotten back to me for 9,000. If you guys would give me at least 90 days, I'll get it tore down and I'll buy it from him this week. Get it tore down in 90 days. Find the guy that hopefully he'll honor the 9,000. If not, I'll have to have Gerald Ingham or Dennis take it down. I talked to them the other day. We want to take that retaining wall down so we can push it onto the blacktop, onto your property. I need clearance to do all this. And then we'll scoop it up and put it on the trucks. But the wall will have to come down. It'll make it a lot cheaper. Mark said we were gonna have electric wires moved. We'll have to do that. We'll have to coincide what they're doing with what you guys are doing with electric. And maybe we clear all this up and move on. But I would on the record give you my commitment, and I'll ask Tim later if we can put something together. If I know I have your assurances, I can have a little time. I've got 2 other properties I bought that I have to remodel in January and February, so I'm not gonna be able to put nothing on the structure for at least 6 to 9 months. But it sits in a fairly good location. I just like your guys' commitment to say, yeah, go ahead, we'll honor your word. If I have to sign something, that's fine. I will buy it from him, get that taken care of, and that's gonna take 30 days at least to just buy it. You know, by the time they do the title search to make sure there's no liens on it, which of course there probably aren't, but you never know past ownership. I know he had done it when he bought it, so it's probably gonna be pretty good done down at Munweller's. We could
They
put
did our
this to
title
rest.
search for this. If you go back there, they should just have to.
Sure.
update it pretty quick.
So we could put this to rest pretty fast, and I think we'd all be happy, and maybe we can mend the fence with Tim, and he'll bring his folks back to visit.
Okay. Are you gonna buy the property?
I'll buy the property as soon as you guys give me the assurance I'm not gonna get into the situation he's in. It's gonna take 90 days for me to get it down, 30 probably to purchase it. And like he told you how much I was paying for it. That's not the big cost. The cost is getting the money for,
Yeah.
and I know Dennis will help me out with that. But, you know, it's gonna, and then who knows what the weather's gonna be like in 30 days or 40 days. And I just give you a commitment. If I'm gonna buy the property, I'm gonna put a house on it. And I'd almost ask you for a commitment. You know what kind of house I wanna put on it? I wanna put a 2-bedroom or a 3-bedroom guest house on it. If I can sell it when I'm building it, great. If not, that's what I'm gonna do with it. So I guess I'm asking you guys for a little bit of leeway and a little bit of guarantees that that's what I can do, and I'll make that start happening as quick as possible.
So what's the drop dead date on it?
Well, I have to talk to him. I'll ask him when we can get together with Munweller's. It's a simple contract. It'll be very simple, and I'll take ownership of it. And then I'd say first thing I'll do tomorrow, or when we get done with him, when I get done with him, is see what Dennis says. I talked to him the other day. He said it'd be a lot easier if we tore that thing down and pulled everything down. And save money. Easier is less money. And then I can get, hopefully when he starts tearing it down, take him 2 days and he's out of there. I'll get grass on it, and then unless you force me to build a house within 12 months or 9 months, I let the grass grow on it till I feel comfortable putting something on it. Maybe he'll give me his designs and I can just follow that. They've been approved by the Historic Society already. I won't use the brick that's there. It won't be a historic home, but it'll be a nice one. So if you guys will commit to it, I'll do it and make it start happening now.
The only problem I have, Kevin, is whatever the drop dead date is. So you're saying, once you buy it, then you need 90 days?
I can't count on the weather. That's
Pick a
why.
date, Kevin.
January
February
3rd. How about
February
April
25th?
1st? How
What?
about April 1st? I'd have it down and cleaned up.
I have a question. If it stays up that long, the big deal was safety and people, kids
Sure.
going in there. Is there anything that can be done to it to maybe try to keep the kids out? I don't.
It's a risk for me when I buy it. I have a few liabilities, you know, and it's a risk for me, so I mean, it's, I want it down as quick as I can get it down. I'm not gonna wait 90 days. If he can do it next week, I'm gonna beg him to do it next week. Cause there is some kid could get hurt in
Right.
there,
And
and
you
it's
own
my,
it.
and I own it, so I wanna make sure that, I'll see him tomorrow, and I'll ask him tonight if he still wants to sell it, and I want it down quick. I can't afford to have it up and somebody getting hurt.
That's the best way to handle it.
Well, it's legal for you to assure Kevin that he can have time to knock it down if you all want to. I think, you know, for purposes of Mark and me, we'll go ahead and do the transcript and prepare the order and send the order out as, you know, as per due course. And then as we get towards the end of that deadline, we can see where things are, and if you want to honor a promise that you make tonight to give more time, there's certainly nothing wrong with that.
Okay. It's up to you, the Alderman. What do y'all think?
If it'll get it on the ground, I'm for it.
Well, we gotta get it knocked down.
I'll keep you guys up to speed on what, like he said, he's having a hard time finding a guy, and so am I, but I know Dennis will come in there and help me with it as quick as possible.
So 90 days?
He said by April 1st.
April 1st is more than 90 days.
It is,
March
but,
1st, you know, somewhere in that area,
uh,
somewhere in that
Down
area.
with a graded lot with seed sowed, that's not out of line, I don't think, if it's
No.
got it down.
But we gotta knock it down, Kevin.
I know.
I don't think it'll take much, just kinda wrap a rope around it.
I don't know why it's still standing. I mean,
I know it.
Okay,
I know.
can we give him a chance?
I'm in favor of it.
What do we need, a motion?
March 1st,
Okay,
That's
building
fine.
be gone.
That's fine.
I'll make a motion.
okay.
Second.
We need, okay.
I
Do we
make
know
a
what the
motion.
motion is?
I make a motion that Kevin be given permission to do this as long as the demolition is done by March 1st.
Okay. And put in there too, he'll do his best, make his best effort to knock us down as quickly as possible. And it's to his advantage to do that.
It is.
Okay, we have a motion made and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I've got one thing to say before Mr. Beckerready leaves. The city had him signed up for 2 different community development block grants. He participated with the city with the assumption that when we got these block grants, it would pay for 80% of the demolition of his house, the one on 14th, and I believe the Bevco building. 2 years in a row we tried that, and I guess we didn't get the grants. And Mr. Beckerready, to his, well, he was fair with me. He called me. I tried to keep him abreast of everything that was going on, and we kind of drug him through this, and I want to apologize for that. We tried, and it wasn't your fault, so I'm glad we got an answer tonight.
I do have one more question if I may, and I don't want to pull him into my problems and my issues. He said he's gonna put a guest house on that. Is that a legal thing now? West of Market Street?
I don't know that Western Market Street.
He's in the
Depends on the
commercial
zoning.
district.
Excuse
That's
me?
commercial.
Depends on the zoning.
That is commercial right there.
And there are guest houses on that street.
There's a guest house all around that, but I was told point blank by Mr. Mayor that I could not put a guest house there. He would allow me to put a bed and breakfast there years ago when you came in office. And I said, you gotta be kidding me. And you said, well, you can come down, Tim, and file for a variance. And then in a year's time, you can come back down and extend that variance. And I said, you gotta be kidding me. Why would I put a business plan together where I'm at your mercy every year to get a variance rescheduled?
Tim, I'd have to tell you that I never said that. That the guest house.
Are we on the record? Oh, she's gone.
Yeah, guest house, this is on television. Guest houses.
We sat right here and you told me that.
Get,
And in the office when you walked out of the
guest
meeting.
houses are legal in any commercial district, and that's zone commercial, I believe. So they can be anywhere in a commercial district, and they can be in R2 and R3.
Am I wrong, Mark? We have gone through that. Am I wrong?
I know that the house west of Mozart couldn't not be a guest house. I do remember that part. Honestly, Tim, I don't remember the why,
As long as you're gonna work with the man, that's good. I just went out of my problem, but I wanted it stated. That's not what you said, that's not what you told me.
Dad, I did not say that.
That you are incorrect, sir.
No,
Am I
not at
done?
all. Okay,
Am I done? Thank you.
it's always been the way, and the zoning controls what can be put in a particular zone. And it's not to me to change it, it's the way it is. Now, if that's zoned different, or was zoned different, I don't think it was, I don't think we ever changed it. So, I think you can stay. I never said it.
That's, all the little girls.
Huh?
Can we move with the little people?
Yeah, let's see.
it's way down the new business.
Do we want to skip down there so they can go? Okay, let's go down to new business.
They look like a bunch of little mice.
Okay, and this is the blue oval, right?
Yes.
Okay, why don't we have Gary come forward? Greg come forward.
I'm Gary Dan.
Okay, we have,
Take pictures of this. Get somebody to take pictures of this.
maybe John.
This is Blue Oval Club?
Blue Oval Park Club,
Okay.
every year has a fun show there. It's getting bigger every year, and the show is a lot of fun. And we appreciate them having it here. I enjoy it, everybody enjoys it. And not only that, but they take some of the proceeds and give it back to the community, which is a great thing. Do we want to go through with the girls first?
Yes.
Why don't we get all the ladies, the little ladies and the bigger ladies to come forward?
Yeah. Get all lined up in front right here.
This. Where's the adult?
We're back here.
Why don't you come up?
We're behind the cameras.
I need one adult.
I need an adult, and we need you to tell us what this group does. Come on over here.
No, not me.
Well, do we have a spokesperson to tell us? Come on.
Okay, we have an adult with them.
Okay, tell us about the group and what they do and who they are.
This is Herman Youth Cheer. We are grades 2 through 8, and we do cheerleading for the youth football team and for the 7th and 8th grade football team.
Blue Blaze.
Blue Lightning Cheer.
Blue Lightning.
All right.
Okay, during the show, we do a 50/50 raffle. This year, the total of the 50/50 raffle was $700. So here's the check for $350 to
Fantastic.
Herman Youth Cheer.
Yay! Say thank you. Say thank you.
You take and then.
They're not very well trained. Let me get out,
Look at him, look at him, look at him, guys.
Look at him smile, girls.
Hey, ice cream.
Smile.
Ice cream.
Blue Lightning.
Blue Lightning.
All right. Thank you again.
Blue Oval and Blue Lightning.
Okay.
Okay. Next one is Showboat Theater, Mark.
Show up the mark.
Your turn. I want to vote.
I'm not liking the mini.
Yeah. This year, the show did pretty well this year, and so we didn't have the movies that we wanted to do because of conflict of the scheduling of the theater. So we just went ahead and wrote out a check to the Showboat Theater for $880.
Handshake.
There you go.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
What's next?
Who's next?
Next one is Park Pride.
Oh, you do? Mark, come on up.
And with the success of the show, and Park Pride helps us every year with the Kids Corner. And to help Park Pride with the all the kids, different things throughout the Herman Park system, we went ahead and donated $1,300.
Wow. Thank you.
Big smile, everybody.
Jennifer basically manned it for us this time. I want her to get credit for doing that, so, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Jennifer,
Thank you so
full name?
much.
You're welcome.
Jennifer Hackman. Mhm.
In relation to Seth?
No.
And now,
Now, the Herman Food Pantry,
Yeah, that's me.
Mark.
that's you?
I happen to be vice chair of Showboat and the food pantry.
And this year, we wanted to help people of the community of Herman help celebrate Thanksgiving and Christmas. So this year, we're donating $1,400 to the Herman Food Pantry. You're welcome.
Yeah, it's wonderful.
And the last one, the Mustang Club of America holds national shows throughout the country. This year in Topeka, Kansas, our club helped them out by manning the show over there. And for that, they give the club $5,000. $2,500 goes directly to the club for helping them out. The other $2,500 gets donated to a charity. But our club decided to split the $2,500 three ways for the three shows that we put on that doesn't generate as much as our other shows do. So this year they asked for a charity for it to go to, and I know with the Herman community and cancer and everything that goes throughout everybody, we wanted to give a check to the Community Foundation of the Ozarks, which is the Crusade Against Cancer. So Representative, there you go. And Midwest Global Club, here's a check for $833.
Thank you.
So all together, with all of the donations from the Mustang Club of America and the car show, we've generated over $4,700 just this year.
Thank you so much.
Thanks to the Blue Oval for coming every year and doing their thing, helping us out, putting on a good show, so we can all enjoy the cars, and hope you'll be back and we can do anything, let us know.
And if you've got a Ford product that you want to put in the show, and it helps out the Herman community as well, by your admission into the show to show off your car, that gives us more money to donate to the community.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it. Okay. Now we will go back and start with the ordinances. I do not have a report. I was concerned about being able to finish this. I did have surgery on my vocal cords a little less than 2 weeks ago, and I'm doing better. And I have a voice that didn't start up till about 5 or 6 days ago. But I need to be able to finish this. I don't really have anything, so let's move on. And Mark, do you have anything?
I have a little bit, sure. I attended the applicant's briefing on the recent flood disaster in Gasconade County. It was held in Columbia last week. FEMA will be coming to Herman to assess and assist in the recovery plan. The engineering firm of Bartlett & West will be in town on the 17th, this Thursday, to meet with the water department staff and discuss the plan of action on our drinking water system study. The city has applied for a $10,000 grant from MoDOT for an ADA phase comprehensive plan. This is through the Transportation Engineering Assistance Program. If we get this grant, we will assess the city-owned public buildings for ADA compliance in the first phase and then work in the rest of the city as the next funding cycle comes around. Now, MRP is getting the closing documents ready for the hospital clinic building, but we still don't have a date for the closing. That's my report.
Okay, good report. Okay, now we're ready for ordinances.
The first, which is on for second reading, is bill number 2019-35, an ordinance to establish sign regulations.
Okay, this is the second reading of this. Is there any Alderman discussion at this point? Scott, you wanted to talk, you filled in the slip, but you don't need to do that. You can come forward and tell us if there's, hopefully, I guess you need to move that a little bit. Is there anything new that, besides what you've already said?
What? I actually brought you guys printouts before, and I've encouraged you before you pass the ordinance to send a copy of it to the Missouri ACLU. Be easier to talk to them beforehand than afterwards to have them review it. I also sent you guys a video link. I hope you had a chance to review it, David. It was continuing education for attorneys, so I thought that would be the most appropriate one for you to look at, although it was already past the time, so you didn't get any CE credit. Did you have a chance to review it, I hope?
I read the Reed opinion itself.
Okay, but not watch the video?
Right.
Okay.
I did watch the video.
And the reason why is I think it's very important not to violate people's civil rights. And the reason why is if you guys do, not only are you going to pay Dave his salary for doing that, but if it's a violation of civil rights, the courts oftentimes allow the, if it's a defendant or plaintiff, depending on how they got standing in the situation, they get to recover their attorney costs. So you're going to get to pay everybody's attorney costs, in other words. And it is a serious thing from that standpoint. Right now, you got Six Flags again, 3 on the desk, be there. I mentioned that just seems crazy. You're going to start limiting people having flags and limiting their freedom of speech. I would take
We don't limit numbers of flags anymore for the latest draft.
So it's been changed again. It was 35 feet and 6 flags, or no more than 4 flags.
Flags and flagpoles. No flag shall exceed 5 by 8 feet in size, and no flagpole shall exceed 35 feet in height.
But no longer the number. Okay, well, at least it doesn't limit speech in that type of context. But the part that I mentioned as far as with the Reed versus Gilbert situation is if you have to read the content to figure out which part of the statute, or in this case ordinance, applies, then you're actually, whether on face or not, you are judging content. Thank you very much.
Okay. Mr. Khalid, we knew about that. I think what Scott said, an hour and 2-minute long YouTube video, and rather than go by that, Dave actually got the Supreme Court print out the regulation, the actual verdict, and operated from that. So that's what we have now, and it's been, we have gone through the first reading. Do I have a motion to accept this, or would you like to talk about this some more? Otherwise, I would entertain a motion to accept this second read.
I move Bill 2019-35, second read.
I'll second.
We have a motion made and seconded. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion's carried. This is for yard signs, so we'll get that under the citizen comments. Okay, next one.
Next on for second reading is bill number 2019-40, an ordinance to approve a contractual agreement between the city of Herman, Missouri and the Herman Area Chamber of Commerce for management of the website www.visitherman.com.
Okay, this is the second reading also. Is there any further discussion, or can we have a motion to accept this?
I'll make a mo-
Go ahead.
You go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Come on.
You started first.
I make a motion, bill number 2019-41 be second read.
And,
I'll second.
okay, the motion's made and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion's carried.
Next on for second reading, bill number 2019-41, an ordinance electing to have all City of Herman municipal ordinance violations heard and determined by an associate circuit judge of the Gasconade County Circuit Court, 20th Judicial Circuit.
I wasn't here last time. Was there any opposition to this? Okay.
No, and it basically does not change anything that we're doing.
Well, I realize that. I'm in
Okay.
favor of it. I just wasn't here for the
Okay,
meeting,
well,
so.
any other discussion?
I move Bill 2019-41 second.
No, second.
We have a motion made and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion's carried.
Next on for second reading, bill number 2019-43, an ordinance to amend Table 3A, stop signs, of Schedule 3 of the City of Herman, Missouri Traffic Code.
Make a motion, bill number 2019-43 be second read.
Second.
Motion's made and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion's carried.
Next for first reading is bill number 2019-44, an ordinance to amend the Herman Municipal Code to establish public transit system regulations within the city.
This was discussed last time in detail. Mr. Sanderlin spoke. And does anybody up here have any questions on it? If not, I'll accept a motion to first read this.
I move Bill 2019-44 first read.
I'll second the motion.
We have a motion made and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Aye.
Okay, that passes. Because we have 2 weeks left in Oktoberfest, if you don't have objections, it might be a good idea to go ahead and second read this so we can get this in on the books and still while Oktoberfest is going on. Any questions, or do I have a,
What difference does that make?
excuse me?
What difference does it make?
It would be now, it would start now, as far as the traffic goes, outside buses, being able to stop in more places and pick up people and let people off, but the actual business license wouldn't be affected until January 1st. So in other words, there's quite a bit. How do y'all feel about that? You want to just wait? We can wait. Or we can do it now.
It's up to you guys.
I'll make a motion that,
I have to actually read it if you want me to.
okay.
Yeah, you'll have to read it again.
Okay. Bill number 2019-44 for second reading, an ordinance to amend the Herman Municipal Code to establish public transit system regulations within the city.
Now,
I make a motion that bill number 2019-44 be declared second read.
I'll second.
we have a motion made and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Aye.
Motion's carried. Next.
Next, for first reading, bill number 2019-45, an ordinance to approve an agreement between the City of Herman and the Missouri Department of Conservation.
What is this?
That's just setting criteria on what the city's responsible for at the Riverfront Park and what the Missouri Department of Conservation is going to maintain.
They kind of lost track of what they were supposed to do and what we were supposed to do.
Yeah, our restrooms are much better than most of the ones they have, and they didn't want to have to maintain those, so we will continue. That's about the only
So
difference.
this is everything we're already doing anyway,
Yes.
correct?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, they're used to basically outhouses where we
Right.
have actual plumbing.
Right. This is just some housekeeping.
Do I have a motion to take care of this housekeeping?
I move that bill number 2019-45 be declared first read.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion made by Alderman Langer and seconded by Alderman Sherman. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And motion's carried. Okay, is there any old business?
Yes. Have we seen any progress at all on AT&T Tower?
I haven't talked to him for a couple of weeks.
Since that storm the other day,
Well,
I've been getting complaints.
I'm getting complaints before the storm.
Yeah. But I mean, a couple of them big lightning bolts must have hit something. 'cause
They said it hit the tower, this is new, south of town, and we have 1/3 of the radius of that tower, and they were working on that 3 or 4 days ago. Can't tell you, I guess they're finished, I don't really know. But they were working on it, but as far as, I thought you meant the new tower.
Yeah, well, that is what I meant.
And I haven't heard anything more on the new tower, so for a while, we were really out of business. But I think we're back, so I don't know anything more than that. Any other old business?
I have some, please.
Sure.
Where are we at the mirror at 118? Sorry.
When I ordered that, it had to come from, I don't know, way across the ocean. It's gonna take 5 weeks to get here. I got a confirmation that it was shipped Friday.
So snail mail.
It was on a boat, a slow boat from China, I guess.
For a
Not
mirror?
a China.
Did you try Bed Bath & Beyond? They have a lot of mirrors.
I don't think those were.
Oh, okay.
So it's coming.
It's on its way.
That's good. And then my other question is Reserve Street, is that all better with visibility at night?
Well, we put some more or less driveway markers there for reflectors. I think we need to do something more. I've talked to MoDOT about that. They really don't have anything that they suggested, so we'll,
Could we put maybe the lines on that stop sign or something?
I think that's a
Reflective
good,
lines?
I think that's a good, some reflector tape around that post would help.
Thank you.
Any other old business? All right, the, couple of other things, we will officially ask Dave for resolution requesting speed limit reduction on Highway 100 West at Village Market and 19 South at starting at the Rod and Gun Club. I can help with the wording if you need that. So, he did not, I did that wrong. I put it under new business, it should have been under resolution. But we'll have it next time. Request Utility Advisory Board. This particular one, we're gonna table this. I need to get with Tricia and get some numbers and set with Jesse. I have met with Jesse once on the phone. And then go to the Utility Advisory Board. And basically what I'm wondering is, we have this consultant report. And we get it from Brubaker and Associates. And this one is dated February 2014. And in this, the part that I'm interested in talks about reserves, 3 forms of money that we keep in reserve for the electric company. One is a general cash reserve, the other is capital reserve, and the other one is self-insurance cash reserve. I'm wondering if the requirements that they have, which are $1.4 million, should be increased. And if they can look at that and help us with that, or the Utility Advisory Board can do that, then we will know if we have enough in reserve, if we don't have enough in reserve, and then we can make a decision what we want to do, if anything. So I'm going to ask, check into that, see where they stand, get the numbers from Trish, and talk to the Utility Advisory Board, see if there's anything place we can move forward. I think it's good to have this. It's a third-party, unbiased recommendation. We don't have to accept it, but we always have. We've gone with that. So that's what we're going to do on that particular one. Dispatch cost savings evaluation. I said during the election for the streets that we would look into this, even though we have looked into it in the past several times. So what I'm going to do is set up a committee. There'll actually be 2 committees. One will be on the side of the city that's not lining up politically, but he'll have chief of police, chief of emergency services, the fire chief, Vera, Trish, Mark, and myself. And what we want to do is look at Vera's list of 2 pages or 2.5 pages of everything they do over there, and try to put a dollar and cents figure value on that. Then I'm going to ask Mr. Miskell, the 9/11 head, and the sheriff to look at this list and see what they can do. We pay $180,000 from taxpayer money. They ought to do something for that. So let's see if we can, and then we'll get everybody together and with the numbers that we've generated and see where it goes from there. So that's my plan on that. I said I would do it, and I'm doing it. Okay. We have, that's all. Is there any other?
I have new business.
Okay.
Okay, I've had people in my ward ask me about trash. In our ordinance, can we add a clause that says that trash must be in receptacles and cannot be set out more than 24 hours before pickup? Because they're setting it out on Sunday and their trash might not get picked up till Wednesday, so then you've got critters getting in it. And if they're not in trash cans, it's getting spread everywhere. And the one, they have a trash can, but then they are not getting everything in the trash can, and diapers and things are laying in the street for days.
I don't know why we can't.
Yes, we can.
Yeah.
Would that include big trash day? People tend to start putting stuff out a little early.
I think it's things that get nasty, is what we need to work on. Your average trash.
Regular trash.
Right. Because I could see that week before, setting stuff out, getting ready. If you have big stuff, you need people
Well, I agree with
helping.
you, I've seen it done now.
And that's November 2nd, correct?
It's the first Saturday.
Yes, November 2nd.
Can I ask
Everybody
what
knows.
day is Big Trash Day?
It's the first Saturday.
November
First
2nd.
Saturday?
November 2nd.
November 2nd, okay.
And that's important because it's not too early to start gathering your stuff up. Don't set it out, but at least work on, what you want to throw away, because it's a real golden opportunity to get rid of that stuff.
I don't think they ever get anything in front of my house. The scavengers get it all before the trash guys, for sure.
That's okay too.
Yeah.
That's okay too. Anything else?
Could that maybe go in utility bills so that everyone knows, citizens and guest house owners, bed and breakfast owners, businesses, so that everybody knows this?
Well, we have one more utility bill in October. But I don't know if they'd actually get it before the 2nd.
But we have to add that clause.
No, she's talking about the change.
Oh,
The
when we
ordinance
do
change,
that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know why we couldn't.
We just need to coordinate with Carol to make sure they don't have any other stuffers in there, but yes, we can do that, yes.
Okay, anything else?
Do we need to vote on it, or does this just happen?
No, I think he's got to generate it, then
Okay.
we'll move it.
Can I ask a quick question? I missed something on the backing up resolution requesting the speed limit reduction on 100. Maybe I just didn't hear it, but what are you requesting the speed limit to be dropped to?
Well, we need, that's a good question. It's 55 now at Village Market,
I'd say 45 would be my suggestion.
40 or 45.
45, because we have to come in, as you come in past Victorian Place, it's 55 until you hit the speed limit, drops to 30.
Yeah, that's too big of a
That
drop.
is a blind curve, there's been one fatality there, and it's a hard intersection. I think if we could get 45, that would signal them to start slowing down.
And put it up over on the other side of Victorian Place, so they have to start slowing down.
Yes.
Okay,
Put a warning sign before the speed sign.
okay.
Because they have those everywhere.
Can I put it in print, or do you all need to discuss it, or?
Well, we'll have to get in the form of a resolution, which will be next time.
Okay.
And the other resolution's on 19 South, and that one, coming down that hill, I don't know what the speed limit is there. Is that 55?
Yeah, it's 55 till right there at the
Senior
senior
And we
citizen.
really need to ask them, see, these are not our streets. These are state highways. We can't just make it, change it. So we have to ask MoDOT to do it, and we have already done that once. And they did a survey and said, we don't think it needs to be lower. And I'm afraid that I don't think we should wait till somebody gets hurt or killed on one of these places before they think it's important enough.
Well, it came very close to having a very bad accident last Saturday. I was up at the Rod and Gun Club, and there was just a light shower where there hadn't been rain for a while, and a younger individual came around that corner, and I can't say they were speeding, but the vehicle got away from them, that wet highway, they went through the ditch, across the Rod and Goat Club driveway and into Audrey Abrams driveway, and that's just a few feet from going right down in that great big hole again. I really would like to see that changed before someone dies. It's, because it's
Well, I
going
think
to
that's
happen.
what we should say, and we should move that one, we need to reduce that one probably too, and start up at the top of the hill with warning signs. And reduce it before they build up speed coming down that steep hill that they can't brake from.
Well, the semi doing 55 at Miss Clara's is not going to be doing 35 when they get to the bottom.
No,
I mean, they can't. It's the laws of physics, you know, they'll burn up their brakes trying.
we need to actually go out there, Dave and Jim, and see what kind of speed we should ask for and where we should do this, so we can put that in the resolution. Can you do that? Just give me a couple numbers.
We can do it.
Okay, thank you very much. That was very important.
Well, it's half-baked yet, so we'll wait.
It's half-baked. Now, that's a joke. That doesn't mean that anybody up here is half-baked.
There's twice baked, right?
Yeah, twice baked here.
But that's not half-baked.
No, that's
Now,
twice.
you're not gonna change
Yeah,
it.
but he still ain't done.
I've been called
So,
half-baked.
there's a joke there, but we'll not get into it. Okay, now we have citizens' comments. This comment is from Bobby. You wanna come forward? And Bobby is concerned about yard sale signs on utility poles. And basically, Bruce brought this up. And we have said that the ordinance says we can do this with Board of Alderman approval. So my suggestion would be, if he comes to Carroll and says, I want to have a yard sale Saturday and Sunday, he comes on Friday, and he takes the signs down on Monday, and let's give Carol the authority to say yes. That's all we need to do, is say, she can say yes.
I don't even know, did we put it in there where they have to come and request that?
I think so.
Well, it's not in here. Signs in the public rights of way, no signs. What this says is that there shall be no signs in the public right of way, except public signs, city-approved signs, informational signs regarding utilities, signs pertinent to a use of public property, or signs associated with municipal, county, state, or federal authorities for crime prevention, like this is a neighborhood watch area or something like that. Or any other sign which has been approved by the Board of Aldermen, yes.
That's
So,
what I was talking about.
just, I would caution you that if you have a procedure in place, or if it's gonna be the city's habit to approve yard sale signs, then it would have to approve lost dog signs, or cars for sale signs, or KKK rally at First Street tonight signs, or any other kind of signs, because otherwise you get into that regulating content issue, because you're allowing one type of sign, or a sign that advertises one type of event, but you're prohibiting all the others. So I don't know how many requests you're gonna get, but
Okay, so what can we do for Mr., is it Vogel? For Mr. Vogel, he has, and other people that wanna have yard time.
Well, I thought in our discussion that we said it was okay for them to put that up as long as
I'm
they
pretty
took
sure
it.
we did say that.
I'm pretty
As
sure
long
we
as we
said
took
that
it
too.
down.
As
right
long as they
after.
took it down and took the
In
fastener
fact,
out.
that's what I told him.
And if that's not printed in there, then.
I don't know if that meant on public right of way though, I think they meant in their yards.
No.
No, it was
No,
utility pole. He specifically said.
Yeah,
I mean, if you're in the middle of Third Street,
You got 24 hours and they remove the
how many
fastener.
people drive up and down Third Street? You know, if you don't have a sign on Market Street saying there's a yard sale, how are people gonna know?
Right.
Because not everybody buys a newspaper if they advertise in the newspapers. I mean, it's, I don't know. As long as they take them down and don't leave them up for a week.
Now, I thought there was also a state condition that said you could have up to 6 yard sales a year, so what can we do about this? And I know you see what he's saying. We can't regulate content. That's part of this.
The lawsuit.
Yeah. And, but on the other hand, what can we do for him? Do you want to bring that back up next time with a solution?
Well, who's him?
What are we talking about?
Well, I'm concerned about this gentleman who needs to have from time to time, have a yard sale.
But
And
now-
I'm also,
You have, excuse me, you have a sales tax number, right?
I have city
So
lights.
technically, what he's doing, he can put one of them A-frames out in front of where he's at, because his yard sales are at the storage unit, am I correct? Your storage units is where you're having your yard sales, correct?
He has a tax number and business license.
So
He has
he's
this
got
one.
all that, he don't have to go by that yard sale
No.
sign.
okay,
That
And he
sounds
also
his,
has-
that sounds his problem, is what I'm saying.
okay, he also has Mr. Whitty's approval to put a sign. up.
Right, but all you know, just do one of them, don't they call them an A-frame, Tom?
Yeah.
I got a sign that's
Sandwich
about
board.
this wide and about that high.
Yeah, I,
Okay,
But I'm going to put it on Winnie's storage shed sign. Or can I put it anywhere else?
I would say put it along the highway there.
Well, Bobby put a sign up by the Herman Bridge up here somewhere and somebody took it down. Where was it at, Bob?
What?
What, that sign you had took down up there, where was that at?
Right there by the bridge, at first light pole.
Where at?
Right there by the bridge, you come across. the
Okay,
bridge.
right up by the bridge, first light pole, someone took it down.
I don't think he did,
Not that I'm aware of.
we'll check. Anyway,
Yeah,
so
well,
he
if
can,
it was on state highway.
Well, I told him that, that's state highway, the state
They
will come
don't
and
take
take it
signs
down.
down.
and they won't tell you and they won't give it back.
No, they don't give them back.
If
What do you say?
it's based on signs on a state highway, how is the Pallet Club putting it right at the stop sign there to Route 119? They're sitting out in the, right by the stop sign in the middle of the road.
All I'm saying is if
Sure.
the state pick through, sometimes they will pick up signs, they don't call you or nothing, they just take your sign, that's all I'm saying. And it's
That's
their
not
right,
our,
it's
that's
their
not
right
our
to do that.
jurisdiction and has nothing to do with us.
In other words, that's.
And they may have asked the state for permission to do that, I have no idea.
In other words, that pole is on state property.
State property.
So then I could
Because of
put
the
a
right of
sign
way of the
there.
highway.
But the city police, in other words, can't take it down? Oh, they can take it down?
Yeah, that's what we said. The state will take down a sign on their right of way, and they won't ask you, they won't keep it, they'll just take it, and I guess they tear them up or something,
Yeah,
but.
they just throw them away.
Now, they
They're
don't
done.
come by every day
Well,
to
in
take
other words, that was my question. In other words, it's on state property, right?
State right, of well, they call it the right of way.
Okay, can the city take it down? Can the city police want to take it down?
The Herman police won't take it down.
Well, they did mine. I lost two of them. One My Fest and one, Oktoberfest.
How do you know our city police took it down?
Who else would take it down? Because he
Well,
said
Bobby,
she
you
has
can't
it.
assume that the city police did it just because it disappeared. Somebody else might not have liked that sign there.
Well, has anybody got my signs?
We don't.
You know what happened here?
I mean, if somebody's got a real nice house or something, and you nail a yard sale sign on a pole in front of their house, they're liable to go out and take it down. But that, I'm not condoning that, I'm not telling people they should do it, I'm just reality. We didn't do it.
No, no, the city police can't take it down.
What?
The city police can't take it down.
I see no reason why they would. I've never seen a complaint. Mark, the chief's sitting right there, he can tell you, but I don't know if anybody's ever complained to the chief about it.
But
Okay.
then, in the meantime, do we need to think about the yard sale signs because
I
they will
think we
be
need
up?
to really think about it, because we don't wanna get into regulating content. But if there's some way we can do that, then I'm for doing that. I don't see what it hurts to have yard sale signs. So, but give us 2 weeks anyway.
Can I make a suggestion on that? I've watched yard sale signs for the last several years, and there's some days when that sale might end on a Saturday or maybe a Sunday at the latest, and yet Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, those signs are still there. Is there any chance of putting a fine on that?
We
Well-
talked about that.
We talked about that. It seems to me that if you come to let's say Carol or Katie and say, I'm gonna have a yard sale at this address, can I put a couple signs up? And she says, okay. We know where it's gonna be, and you need to take it down. Because otherwise, Monday, or Tuesday or Wednesday, if they're still up, the easiest thing is we just take them down.
Yeah.
And we're not gonna deliver them back to you. So you do what you say, and we gotta figure out a way to do this, so.
Another
And
question.
this regulation of this falls under the job description of the new position of code enforcement
Right.
officer.
So
Not
that-
Carol or Vicki.
Okay.
You're off the
Yeah,
hook.
but they're not here yet, so somebody can handle it in the meantime. All right, you're gonna give us a couple weeks to see what's going
Okay,
on.
so there's one, sign that, Doug Scheidecker said it's on his property that I can put, where they put the used cars, you know what they're gonna work on?
You mean where the old Shook Memorial Works is?
Over near the
Right across
bridge.
street from where his service
Monument,
is.
the old monument.
We're on Monument Company?
He said you could put one there on my property, that's my property.
If it's his property and he says you could put one there, knock yourself out.
Okay. Thank you for your time.
Use the
Okay.
standard size though, Bob, don't put up a billboard, okay?
Thank
Well,
you.
they got the one on there, big wine sign that's this big. I can't, I got to have a sign that's smaller than that.
A little smaller, okay?
Thank you, we appreciate it. We'll get back to you. Okay, now we have some motions to take care of. About losing my voice here. Minutes. What do we want to do with the minutes? We like them? or-
Move to approve.
I'll second.
Motion's made and seconded to approve the minutes. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion's carried. Invoices for payment.
I make a motion to approve the invoices for payment.
I'll second.
Motion's made there and seconded on this side. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion's carried. Conditional use permit renewal, Charles and Kathy Durham.
Any complaints about that one, Chief?
Unoccupied guest house? Really?
I make a motion to approve that
Second.
through December, like all of the other ones.
I'm sorry.
Yes.
Go ahead, Sue.
You second that
Yes.
motion? Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? You got lucky tonight, Mr. Durham.
And now, we approved this through December, so now all these people are gonna have to reapply it the first
Right.
of the year. I know that's gonna work.
But it could be a different set of rules. Conditional, we can do them all at one time, if we want to. Conditional use permit renewal, Arminius Holdings LLC, doing business as Erman, 1837, liquor sales for outdoor consumption, 403 Market Street.
Move to approve.
Second.
We have a motion made and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion's carried. Approved bid for $15,068.31 from Side and Stricker for mowers with trade-in. Do you want to tell us what that is, or?
Well, it's pretty self-explanatory. They can get two for the, it's about for the price of one.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion made and seconded down here. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion's carried. Declare transformers as surplus property and approve sale to highest bidder. TNR Electric Supply for $5,656.25.
Second.
Motion's made here and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Yeah, that's what they do.
Motion's carried. Caterers permit, Maria's Restaurant, doing business as El Ranchito, and Stonehill Wine Company, Witches and Wine, 4th and Schiller Street event area, October 17th, 2019.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion's made and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, that concludes our agenda. We have no reports. I will entertain an adjournment motion.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We stand adjourned.
Thank you for all you guys do.
Yeah. Thanks for the reminder. Hey, Kevin.
Do you have a copy of what we sent?
Be nice to get that filled up where you can fill up for you.
You get my chance to get a call from Hershey, Pennsylvania.
What happened?
Oh, I was on a trolley tour after the trolley.